this is request number
Oh, yeah.
1.
3 negative 1. Yeah, 3 negative 1.
And going from M to N would be 3 negative 1. Now I heard some dissension out there. Do we need to talk about this? Or are we in agreement that it's positive 3 negative 1? Are we okay with that?
Yes.
Now if you turn it around, you're going to miss it. So make sure you're going from M to N. That's what it says. All right, that seems easy enough. All right, so now we're ready for the next set of problems. You have this on 2 quizzes now. Tomorrow we'll go over the quiz you just took. But you have these things on 2 quizzes. What's the dot product? How do we find the dot product? X times X plus Y times Y. That's exactly right, Jordan. Thank you. So our answer would be negative 5?
Yeah.
Now you just got to practice it enough, kids, to remember that's how you do a dot product. Doing it's easy. You just have to remember X times X, Y times Y, add them up. All right, what about B? What's happening here?
B.
So 2 times V would be 2 negative 4.
And subtract it.
And then we're going to subtract U. We're being very careful to go in the order the problem says. 2 V's minus U. So that would be 2 minus 3. And negative 4 minus 4. Now, do I need to find magnitude?
No.
No. That's the answer. Don't do anything extra. Your job is to find 2V minus U, and that's what you did. What does C mean?
Find the magnitude of V.
And to find the magnitude of V, look, it's automatic. I put a radical, right? Because that's what I do.
Square X and Y. And then
Square, square, add them up. So is that going to be root 5? V, oh my gosh. V plus U. Please do not miss this. These are being added, guys. So it's 1 negative 2 plus 3, 4. Add. What'd you say?
4.
We are going to ace this thing. This is easy. All right, now what about E?
Find the scalar of V first. V.
So we got to work on this. So V is 1 negative 2.
Yeah.
And now we're going to subtract
9.
3 times U, which, what'd you say, Jordan?
9, 12.
9, 12. Perfect. So we've got our V vector, and we're going to subtract 3 times our U vector. So 1 minus 9, negative 8. Negative 2 minus 12, negative 14. Now, do I stop here?
No.
No, because this one says find the magnitude. So we're going to square root 8 squared plus 14 squared. To what?
260.
Square root of 260. Ah, shoot, 260 is 26 times 10. 2 times 13, 2 times 5. 2 root 65. Does everybody see the difference between problem B as in boy and E as in egg?
Yes.
They start out the same, don't they? But in B we stop, and in E we have to find the magnitude. All right, U minus V, here we go. This is a trick question only because people don't pay attention to the order. U minus V. Sometimes it's V minus U. This one is U minus V. So 3, 4 minus 1, negative 2. Here we go. 3 minus 1.
2.
And 4 minus negative 2.
6.
Am I done with that problem?
Yes.
I am. That's it. That's it. Got it? Oh, yes, Mrs. Ford, this is so fun. Here we go, number 3. We are going to find the components and magnitude of AB. So what is vector AB? A to B.
6, 4.
6, 4. There are the components right there. Because what are components? Components are the X and the Y. Done. But Mrs. Ford, I didn't use sine and cosine. You're right, you didn't need to. I didn't give you an angle. I gave you 2 points and said find the X and the Y. Done. Now, what's the second question? Find the magnitude. Oh, that's easy. Square root of 36 plus 16, so the square root of 52, which is 2 times 26, which is 2 times 13, so 2 root 13. What do you think? You okay with that? Find the components of the vector shown. This is a little tricky. Okay, now I wasn't so nice in the answer blank this time. But aren't I looking for this?
Yeah.
And can I tell from my picture that X will be negative?
Yes.
So at some point, make sure you put a negative in there. Now, how do I find X and Y in this scenario?
115 minus 9.
I'm going to need to do sine and cosine, right? Would you agree? Okay. So, how big is this guy? 65. So, cosine 65 equals X over 16. And sine 65 equals Y over 16. Are you guys with me? So I'm going to type that in. Jordan, you already got it done?
No.
Okay. You were sitting there pretty comfortable. I thought maybe you were ahead of us here.
14.5.
Yep. And don't forget the x1 is negative. What? Yep. Negative. Okay, everybody ready for number 5?
Yeah.
Oh yeah! We're going to find the angle between two vectors. Okay, this was on the quiz you just took. I saw a couple of you struggling with it a little bit. Not because of the math, but I think you forgot what you were supposed to do. If we want to find the angle between two vectors, we have a formula. I hesitate to say formula, but it's like a formula for that.
Dot product
Cosine equals dot product
over magnitude
over magnitude times
times
magnitude. Okay, that's how you find the angle between vectors. That's not the direction angle. The direction angle is when you draw it on the coordinate plane. The angle between two vectors is like this. You're finding that angle right there. So what's our dot product?
18.
Negative 2 plus 20, he says 18. Is he right? Now, what's the magnitude of the first vector?
20.
Root 20, 4 plus 16? Don't reduce that. That's not the answer. You're not putting it in the answer blank. Just leave it root 20. What's the magnitude of the second vector?
26.
Root 26. Don't do anything with that. Leave it alone. To make your calculation easier on the calculator, multiply these together. Do not reduce that. Leave it alone. And go to the calculator and type in what?
I added the square roots together in my quiz.
Oh, that's sad.
That's very unfortunate.
You want to multiply them, right?
Yeah.
So the second cosine, 18 divided by the square root of 520, and I get 37.87 degrees. Now look at that. Run through those steps again in your head and make sure when you see find the angle between two vectors, you immediately think dot product divided by mag. We know how to find the dot product. We know how to find the magnitudes. If you're not putting it in the answer blank, don't bother reducing it. It just makes things harder. What goes in the answer blank has to be in simplest form. Okay, everybody ready for number 6?
Yeah.
Okay. Remove the parameter and write one equation. Now this has not been on a quiz, but we have talked about it. How might we remove the parameter? Jordan?
From X, you can subtract 2.
So he is approaching it from a substitution standpoint. He says, I'm going to let t be x minus 2. And that's perfectly okay. If he does that, then that's going to go in right here. So y equals 3 minus 2 times x minus 2. You got it? And then this is going in the answer blank, so I need to simplify this. So I got negative 7x, or negative 2x plus 7. Did anybody have a different thought, or is that the way you're all doing it? It is fine. It is great. It is awesome. Is this okay with everybody? Because it isn't the only way to do the problem, but if this is the way that works for you, then we'll leave it at that. Caitlin, you got it? Christian, are we ready for 7?
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know how to do it though.
You don't know how to do it?
No.
Okay. This is something we just talked about probably yesterday or maybe, I don't remember. And we certainly haven't reviewed it or had a quiz over it. We have 2 points, and we are going to write the parametric equations of the line. And I gave you a clue. Parametric equations are like these. These are parametric equations. So you're going to come up with an x equation and a y equation. So we're going to use the vector form of the line. Diana's looking at her notes. Awesome, that's what we take them for. And she says, I'm going to start with this format. xy equals parentheses plus t times parentheses. Remember that from yesterday? So to write the vector form, or excuse me, to write the parametric equations, you start with this form. And this is simply xy equals coordinates plus t times other coordinates. Now, does anybody remember what goes in this first blank? One of the points, and I like to start with the first one. 1, 2. Doesn't matter. I can use either one. 1, 2. Pick a point. Now, caution. Do not put the other point in this blank. What goes in this blank?
Go on a limb and say the
The
magnitude.
vector goes in that blank. Well, I forget. I didn't even name those points. Let me call them A and B. The vector goes in there. So what is the vector from A to B? 2, 3. So Magnus, what goes in the first parentheses? That's right. Then what goes in the second parentheses? The vector from first to second, right? Now, who remembers how to get from that to the actual equations? Yep. Brooke says, take all of the x parts. So when you look at these three parentheses, here are the x parts. Would you agree with me? So we're going to write that equation, Jordan. So x equals 1 plus 2t.
Yeah. And y equals 2 plus.
And then we do the y part. So y equals 2 plus 3t. And those are your parametric equations. Okay, so what happens tomorrow is we finish this and do the second one. Go over the quizzes you took today. I don't see you Monday. And then Tuesday we will take our quiz. Okay? Got it? All right, my friends. Have a good day. I will see you tomorrow.